Basketball has forever been a sport dominated by large, physically imposing athletes, so it's sometimes hard to remember that the most feared player in the league doesn't fit that bill at all. But Stephen Curry is feared by opposing teams for a different reason. He may not be an imposing figure or a physically overpowering player, but he's one of the best shooters in the history of the NBA. He gives teams nightmares at the thought of guarding him. After all, how can you guard a player who can make shots from all over the court at any angle and all while under pressure? His shooting ability, dazzling speed, and talented ball handling skills have given us mesmerizing moments on the court and have also embarrassed those who tried to guard him. So here are some moments he's done just that. Here are 10 times Stephen Curry went too far. Number 1. 2013 All-Star SNUB. When Steph Curry was drafted to the Golden State Warriors, they were a far cry from the modern-day dynasty we know now. They struggled to even win 30 games a season, never mind make a playoff run. But as Steph started to find his way in the league, so did the Warriors. In 2012, the Warriors only won 23 times. The following year, they won 47 games and made the playoffs. You could point to this year as the year that Steph arrived in the NBA. That season, Steph Curry was having a career-best year. He was leading the Warriors to the playoffs, and many thought he was a shoo-in for his first All-Star appearance. However, he was snubbed from the roster, which undoubtedly made him mad. So 10 days later, under the bright lights of New York City and Madison Square Garden against the Knicks, Steph Curry balled out. He hit a then career-high 54 points whilst raining down threes. He had most definitely arrived in the NBA, and he left All-Star voters looking silly and embarrassed for leaving him out of the team. Number 2. 2015 NBA Finals Game 5. The 2015 NBA Finals saw the birth of the Golden State Warriors dynasty, and Game 5 of the series acted as the coming-out party for Steph Curry. The Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers were tied at 2 games each as the series returned to California for Game 5. There was a lot at stake as the Warriors were chasing their first NBA title in 40 years, and the LeBron James-led Cavaliers were seeking their first championship ever. But it was Steph Curry who stole the show. Steph scored 37 points, 7 3-pointers, and had 7 rebounds and 4 assists. But it was his fourth quarter performance that impressed the most. He exploded for 17 points on 5-7 shooting and sunk 3-pointers in the fourth quarter, which allowed the Warriors to pull away from Cleveland on the scoreboard and secure a pivotal Game 5 victory. As a result of his performance in this game, the argument for Steph being the best in the game grew. The Warriors went on to clinch the NBA championship and kick-started their modern dynasty, all led by Stephen Curry. Number 3. Unanimous MVP. Steph Curry is the only player in the history of the NBA to win a unanimous MVP award, and his stat line for the season shows exactly why. In 2016, Steph broke the NBA record for most three-pointers in a single season. He was consistently the best player on the most winning team in regular season history. But there was one game that season that shocked us. In February, the Warriors went on the road to Oklahoma City Thunder in a slight playoff preview. Curry scored 46 points in the game, but that wasn't what shook us, nor was it his dazzling ball skills or his clutch finishing around the rim. The tightly contested game went into overtime and looked destined for a tie at 118-118 when Steph Curry hit some magic. In the dying seconds of the game, Curry took the ball past the Oklahoma midcourt and lofted up a far-fetched three-point buzzer beater and hit it with 0.6 seconds left of overtime. The 3 points stole the victory for the Warriors and showed that Steph the Chef Curry has ice in his veins. Number 4. 2016 Western Conference Championship. At the end of the 2016 season, the Golden State Warriors had truly set themselves apart as the best team in the league. They had the best regular season record in history by only losing 9 games, and Steph Curry had won his second MVP. They went on to dominate Houston and Portland in the playoffs, winning both series 4-1, but they ran into adversity during the Western Conference Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Warriors quickly found themselves down 3-1 to Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and the Thunder, and being written off by the media. It was as good as certain that the Thunder would advance, but Steph Curry felt disrespected and activated his killer instinct in the next 3 games of the series. In games 5, 6, and 7, Steph averaged over 32 points per game. He also held a 47% three-point accuracy. It was Curry's remarkable performances that led the Warriors to rally and pull off the unlikely series comeback to earn their second straight NBA Finals appearance. Number 5. 2017 Revenge Season. The 2016 NBA Finals didn't end the way Steph Curry had hoped, for as the Warriors were beaten by the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-3, and Steph carried a lot of the blame. Throughout the 2017 season, Steph had to hear all the doubters and critics blaming him for the Warriors' loss. He also had to deal with the memory of Kyrie Irving shooting a 3 right in his face, then immediately after missing his own three-pointer with 30 seconds left in Game 7, which if made, could have altered the result. The Warriors once again soared through the regular season and met the Cavaliers for the 3rd straight season in the NBA Finals. The series wasn't much of a contest, as Kevin Durant and Steph Curry put on basketball masterclass after masterclass. But in Game 5, with the Warriors leading 3-1, Steph Curry got his vengeance. With the clock ticking down and the Warriors with a narrow lead, Steph Curry headed to the left wing with some dazzling dribbling. With Kyrie Irving guarding him tightly, Curry sidestepped to the left, posted up, and sank a three-pointer to give the Warriors a 14-point lead with under a minute left in the game, all but certainly sealing the game and the NBA championship. A true revenge story for Steph. He eradicated the doubters and critics who called him overrated and had the satisfaction of scoring right in Kyrie's face, a full 180 from last season. Number 6. Trash-talking Steph Curry is a bad idea. There are just some people in this world that you shouldn't piss off. Steph Curry in the NBA Finals is one of them. In 2018, the Golden State Warriors met the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals for the 4th consecutive season. The Warriors barely pulled through Game 1, despite a 51-point showing from LeBron James. It's safe to say the Cavs were angry and seeking revenge on Steph's Warriors. So when Steph Curry was doing his thing in the first 3 quarters of Game 2, the Cavaliers were growing frustrated at his behavior. As the final seconds of the 3rd quarter ticked off the clock, Steph Curry attempted a turnaround three-pointer right in front of the Cleveland bench, and the newest bench warmer for Cleveland, Kendrick Perkins, took it personally. Perkins stood up and got right in Curry's face to intimidate him. However, Curry, being the much smaller man, stood his ground, looked Perkins up and down, and said, "You ain't playing tonight?" More unsavory comments were made by both Curry and Perkins, who were separated by teammates, but Curry decided to put on a basketball masterclass in the 4th quarter as a final insult. Curry went on to score 5 three-pointers in 5 attempts. He made the shots from all over the court, off his back foot, whilst facing pressure, and even drew a foul on a 3-point attempt and made the bucket anyway. Steph's 4th quarter rally gave the Warriors a 20-point victory in Game 2, and his performance in the final 12 minutes can be directly linked to the altercation with Kendrick Perkins. Number 7. 2019 Western Conference Semifinals. Great players can turn a poor performance into a sensational one in a heartbeat, and in the 2019 Western Conference Finals, that's exactly what Steph Curry did. Even after a lackluster season for the Warriors where they looked to fall apart at times, they were expected to coast into the NBA Finals for a 5th consecutive year on talent alone. However, after Kevin Durant went down injured in Game 5 of the semifinals against the Houston Rockets, things changed. The Warriors entered Game 6 with the series lead 3-2. However, without KD, all eyes were on Steph Curry to lead his team to a win, but the James Harden-led Rockets believed this was a prime opportunity to knock off the Warriors and advance themselves. Steph Curry had a miserable first half. He failed to score a single point in the half for the first time in 102 playoff games. His 3rd quarter performance wasn't much to sing about either, only scoring 10 points. But entering the 4th quarter, the Warriors were trailing and Steph Curry's legacy and ability were under fire. And we should know by now that Curry gets better the more he is doubted and written off. Curry went off for 23 points in the final quarter, which propelled the Warriors to come from behind and win the game and advance to the next stage of the playoffs. With each made shot, Curry stole the hope and atmosphere from the Houston Rockets fans. And when he nailed a three-pointer from downtown right in front of James Harden's face, the entire arena knew it was over. Number 8. Sweep of the Portland TrailBlazers. After Curry led the Warriors past the Houston Rockets in the previous round, it's hard to believe he would be doubted again. But entering the 2019 Western Conference Final without Kevin Durant by his side, critics didn't believe Curry could lead his team to another 4 wins. But boy, were they wrong. Steph Curry dominated the 4 games against Portland and broke records in the process. He had the best statistical game ever by an NBA player in a 4-game playoff sweep. He scored 146 total points over the 4 games, a tally that had not been achieved before in a playoff sweep. His almost effortless scoring helped the Warriors overcome 3 different 20-point deficits in 3 consecutive games. Curry reminded everyone in the NBA why he is considered the greatest shooter ever, and why he is a 2-time MVP. And yet again, he showed the NBA world what happens when you doubt him. Number 9. 2020 season. Steph Curry only played 5 games of the 2019 to 2020 season due to injury, and his impact on the team was made apparent as the Warriors went from 5 straight NBA Finals to only winning 15 games, a franchise worst. So when Curry returned to the league for the 2020 to 2021 pandemic season, he had some reminding to do. Steph had one of his best statistical seasons, finishing the year leading the league with 33 points per game. The entire season felt like he was reminding us that he is the only ever unanimous MVP, and one game stands out as the best example. On January 3rd, 2021, Steph Curry once again made the Portland TrailBlazers the victim of his greatness. Curry ran riot over the Blazers, scoring a career-high 62 points in 36 minutes of court time. He also scored an incredible 8 three-pointers. Although the Warriors never saw the playoffs that season, the NBA was reminded of Steph Curry. Number 10. The all-time three-point record. Steph Curry will be remembered as the best shooter in NBA history whenever he decides to hang up his sneakers. To solidify the claim, Curry entered the 2021 to 2022 season on pace to become the NBA's all-time leading three-point scorer. Steph went into a Tuesday night game against the New York Knicks staring down the barrel of the record, and the Mecca of basketball played host to Steph Curry's monumental record. Early in the first quarter, the Warriors were on offense when the ball found its way to Steph Curry on the edge of the three-point line, a sight we had seen so many times before, and like clockwork, Curry hit nothing but net to sink his 2,974th career three-pointer. He broke Ray Allen's record in nearly half the number of games. Sure, this moment may not be the coldest or the most savage on this list, but it's a reminder that Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, and a reminder that he has revolutionized the game of basketball for the smaller athletes. Are there any Stephen Curry moments that should be on this list? Let us know below. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. However, when it comes to the greatest of all time, there are only 2 names that can be debated: Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Want to know the brutal reality of the GOAT debate? Watch here.
Yeah.